Okay guys, so now that my plants are ready for the transplant, I need to get my medium ready. So like I said earlier, I'll be using cocoa. So all I gotta do is put my blocks in this bin, and then I'm gonna add some water, and they're gonna slowly just break apart. So right now we're just gonna add water to the cocoa bricks, and it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna let them sit in water. Right now my water is pH'd at 6 pH. I'll be feeding my plants around 5.8 to 6. That's what I'm gonna be given pH wise. All this cocoa, which is just like cocoa husk, it's all just gonna soak in this water, make for a perfect base for my plants here. They're breaking down pretty quick too, which is nice. Okay, so I am dealing with buffered cocoa, which just means that buffered cocoa will help stabilize the pH. What happens is it gets washed, rinsed, all the dirt and stuff just gets rinsed out of it, and then they soak it. Usually in a calcium magnesium solution, they just soak it in there because you gotta use a lot of CalMag when you're using cocoa, I find. And everyone kind of knows that, but yeah, if you're using cocoa, you're gonna wanna use a lot of CalMag, calcium magnesium. But with buffered, it makes it a little bit easier. It also helps stabilize your pH, which I mentioned. So I'm just gonna get some of this damp stuff right on these blocks here. All right. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start filling some pots with some of this stuff that I have over here that's already broken down. Then just get it out of there because it's soaking up a lot of moisture. Then I'll just keep on working on breaking down these blocks on this side. Right now I just wanna try to just break up any little pieces, break down any little pieces that are in there. This is looking good. With cocoa, you can barely overwater your plants. It's almost difficult to overwater your plants using cocoa. It just dries up so fast, sucks the moisture right out so quick. You'll be watering them every day at a certain point, maybe flower, late veg. Depends on what size of pots you use as well. But yeah, as you can see, I'm adding a lot of water to it. Once I transplant these plants, I'm also going to give them a little feeding, their first feeding. I just want to get them in their final homes first, then we'll do that. You could just fill it with water and just sit there and wait, but I do like doing this part, just helping it break down, because I'm breaking up all these little chunks right away, so when I'm done, it's just pure good cocoa ready to use. I don't know if there's a quicker method. If you know of one, just let me know in the comments section. You just see it just soaking it right up. All right, well, we're gonna continue breaking up my cocoa, then I'm gonna get all my pots ready, and then we're gonna fill up the pots, transplant the plants that I wanna keep, which most of them are keepers, but I can't keep them all. So we'll transplant what we gotta keep, and then we'll just keep on going from there. Okay guys, our plants are ready for the transplant. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna do probably 4 or 5 right now on camera. I'm gonna pick the best 4 that I have of each strain, because I have 4 different genetics. I'm gonna pick the top 4 of those genetics. Then we're gonna transplant them, and then I'm gonna give them their first little bit of feeding. So let's just get started on the transplant. This is pretty easy. It doesn't even take that much time really. It's just a quick process. So let's just get started. We're gonna pick our first plant here, and it's going to be, I have them all in rows. Really thirsty right now. The first plant we're gonna do is a sugar cane. This is gonna be the first one, sugar cane from In-House Genetics. She is thirsty, as you can see, she's drooping a little bit, but we're just gonna, we're gonna get right in there. So we're gonna take away our little rubber tab that we have in here. We're gonna take away our label for now, and then I'm gonna make a nice hole in this fabric pot right here. These are the VivoSun. This is a 3-gallon. I'm using 3-gallon fabric pots this run. Okay, we're also gonna put some mycorrhiza. This is from ProMix, right on the roots once I pull them out of the solo cup, but I'm also gonna sprinkle a little bit in the root zone. So not much, I don't have a lot, so I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit right down in here, just like that. So now we're gonna remove the plant from the solo cup. Okay, so what I do is I just just loosen around the sides, tilt the plant upside down, a couple more little bends until you just start to feel it kind of slide out. There it comes right there. I don't break up my roots at all. I just kind of let it do its thing. I might just move these around a little bit, but not even that much. They will find their way. But right now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more of the mycorrhiza on the roots, just a little bit. That's good enough. Okay, now we're going right down the medium. Backfill it nicely. That's all it takes, man. So that's the first one done. I'm gonna have to top up the soil eventually, or the ProMix, or the fucking cocoa. Put my label back in, Done. First plant done. I'm just gonna have to give that a nice good feeding. Set that aside. Bring up another pot. Okay, first we're make our hole in the pot, like so. Sprinkle a little bit of mycorrhiza in the hole there. And then we're gonna grab our next plant. This one is one of my lung busters. I only got 2 of these. The other one's in decent shape too, but this is my best one of the lung buster from Exotic Genetics. Okay, so the same thing, this one already feels kind of loose-ish. They're really dry, so they might break apart on me a little bit, but as long as you don't mangle the roots that much, it should be good. Squeeze the edges a little bit and just work your way around until it wants to just come out naturally. You just gotta be patient with it, just like so. A lot of the roots are on the very bottom of these. Put some stuff in here. Okay, then if they're breaking up too much, I'm gonna try to get her in here. This one could have went a couple more days, one more good watering for it, but I gotta get this show on the road, so everything's gonna be okay here. She's done. She's good. Okay, so let's put the tag back in. This is my lung buster. I gotta rewrite my tags because they're kind of getting worn off a little bit. Okay, that's 2 done. Next one. Let's make our hole first. Good stuff. Sprinkle some magic powder in there, which is called mycorrhiza, good for the roots. Okay, the next one we're gonna do is, I'm thinking, this one's hard to pick. We have 2 beauties, but you know what? I'm obviously gonna go with this one right here. Just by the node spacing. I do like a stretchy plant. This one's a lot more stretchier. This is my pineapple pucker. So I do like, I'm probably gonna transplant both plants. This one's nice and stretchy, probably good for scrogging, but this one has very nice node spacing, so it would also be good for scrogging, and I just kind of think this plant just looks a little bit more healthier and happy at the time being. Take the little tag out here. Sometimes I like to rather transplant my plants when the cups are kind of wet, but it's not a big deal. Everything's gonna work out fine here. Just gotta get them in their home, get them some food. The roots all seem pretty decent, but yeah, they could have used another day or 2 inside the solo cups, but we're gonna be fine here. Okay, so let's get that in there nice and gently. Backfill it, give it a little press. You don't want to press hard, but you do want to press a little bit, just like so. Okay, so that's the 3 of the 4 we're gonna be doing. Okay, let's grab another pot, make the holes, or make a hole, sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, so now we're definitely going to be using this one here. They're all pretty decent. This is gonna be the black sugar. Which one do I want? I'm gonna pick this guy. As the winner. Okay, so first thing I gotta do is remove the rubber band on it that kept it straight for me. Pineapple pucker, gotta put that tag in. Okay, tags in, tags out of this one. Okay, so same thing, upside down. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Put her in her hole. Like I said, the cups are dry, so it breaks apart real easy. You can add a little bit of water to your solo cup before you transplant just to keep the plant stuck together a little bit more, the roots all intact. The roots are fine. It's just like when I go to backfill it or put it in the water, or put it in the medium, it might break apart a little bit, which is fine. You just gotta be prepared for that. Okay, so that's it. That's our four for now keepers. What I'm gonna do next is mix up some Athena nutrients, blended line, and then we're gonna give these all a little bit of a feeding for their first time. So let's get set up for that. Okay guys, so I went ahead, I mixed some Athena nutrients in a pail here. Later on, a different episode, we're gonna go over like mixing the nutrients, how I mix them, pHing, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna go over all of that stuff. But right now, we're just gonna give these girls their first drink. I do wanna say that the Athena line called for 29 milliliters per 10 liters of the Grow B and Grow A, but I added 25 instead of 29. Because this is their first feeding, I don't wanna give them the full dose. My next feeding, which is the next time I water, because I'm gonna feed every single time I water, I'll bump it up to the 29 milliliters per 10 liters. The CalMag the Athena calls for is 9 to 13 milliliters of 10 liters. I'm always gonna put in just around 20 milliliters because I know that they're gonna be wanting the CalMag. It's cocoa, it's just the way it is. Even if it's buffered or not, I'm still gonna add a little bit more CalMag. Okay, so right away, we're just gonna water this plant right here. I have a pail right here that's full of nutrient water, and we're just gonna go slow around the base of the plant. I just want to go until I get a little bit of runoff. I don't want lots of runoff right now. I just want to go until I get just a little bit. I might not even go all the way. I might just give it just this bit of water right here and just call it a day. That's it, just this first little dosage of feeding right there. That's all it needs. A couple days, that thing's gonna start to grow a lot, and then we just gotta keep on watering it. Probably, these are 3-gallon fabric pots, so I'm probably gonna be watering every 3rd day at first. Once they get bigger, it's gonna turn to every 2nd day, and then once I'm in flower, it's probably gonna be every single day. Okay, so let's just set this one aside for now. Pull up another one, and do the same thing. I try not to get water or nutrient solution on the actual plant itself. I try to avoid getting any kind of liquid on the leaves. That's kind of not important, but it's just something, it's a good practice, because some nutrient solutions can actually burn the plant. That's good for this one right there. Set that aside, grab the next. If I have any more nutrient water left over, I'll just give them all a little bit more. This is good. This is the first feeding out of a solo cup, right? Well, first feeding nutrient wise all together, but this is their first quite a bit of water out of a solo cup. You don't need to soak them right now. You just need to get them nice and damp and they'll be happy. Last one, once all this cocoa settles, I'll probably be topping up my pots. But the more water you add to it, the more it's gonna settle. So I'm gonna wait like probably 2 or 3 good feedings, and then I will top up the pots with cocoa. Okay, so now that everything is all watered, I still have a little bit of nutrient solution left. So I'm just gonna go ahead and top up, like use the rest on those plants I just watered. And that's it, man. We are gonna be, that's it for transplanting. Do have more plants to transplant, but I don't need to show you guys exactly how to do it because I showed you how to do it. And I'm only gonna transplant maybe like 2 or 3 of those. The other ones, donation or garbage. Yeah, so that's it, guys. That's it for transplanting. Up next, we have plant training, and that's gonna be coming within the week because these plants are almost ready for it now, but I wanna get the roots established inside those 3-gallon fabric pots before I start doing any kind of training. I want those roots to venture out and just realize that this is their final home and they can just spread their wings. And then I'm gonna come in and start bending them all over and start training them. All right, guys, welcome back. We are now at the stage of training our plants. These girls all blew up, they're all healthy. I'm happy with everything, and believe it or not, I have not even watered them again since I transplanted in the last video last week that you guys saw. So it's been like 3 or 4 days. I haven't even watered them yet. Definitely my pots are getting lighter. Tomorrow's gonna be a day that I'm gonna flush these out. So this is a perfect time for me to train my plants because I don't wanna train my plants, say right after I just watered them. Because during that time, the stems are all full of water and I feel like they just break so easy when you try to bend them over. So when they don't have so much water in them, say on the day that you have to water your plants is actually a good day to do your training on your plants. Do the training first, water your plants after. It just really saves a lot of headaches and sometimes breaking your branches, which I might do right now. You never know. Like sometimes you break a branch, it happens a lot actually. I'll teach you a few tricks that could like try to potentially avoid that problem. And let's just get started on this plant right here. This is one of the sugar canes, in-house genetics right here, sugar cane. That's right away, I'm gonna use something different. These are the guys right here. These are like a whole bunch of ties with a bunch of clips on them. The red ones are shorter than the green ones. So what I'm gonna do is show you guys an example right now. I'm gonna use the red ones. These are actually not a sponsor of the channel. This is a guy named Sabotage Grower. I don't even know for sure if he's still like doing this. It's still on Instagram. I'm not too sure actually because I haven't been like looking, but this is Sabotage Grower stuff. He gave them to me like 3 years ago. I thought they were awesome. I really think they're awesome. I'm gonna show you right now how easy these are to use. And they are reusable. So he doesn't even know I'm using them, which is gonna be cool. He's gonna be like, wake up one day and be like, holy shit, Troy's using my ties, which is awesome. Okay, so right now when I look at my plant, I'm gonna try to find, I wanna put my first tie down on the lower part of my plant, on the main stem. The first tie is going on the main stem of the plant, right low. That is to keep it straight, because when I put a tie on the top of the plant and I start trying to bend it over, it's going to like lean the whole plant. But if I just support the bottom, tie the top, then it's just gonna be the top bending and the rest will stay straight. Let's just find a good anchor point on this lower side first. And these are sweet, so if you see here, they just have a clip. Open up the clip right on the side of the pot. Some fabric pots don't have holes, these ones don't have holes. So that works perfect. Now I'm gonna reach in here, get a lower little section of the plant. These hooks that you see that I'm hooking onto, they're super small, very nice, almost like a fish hook, but it's not that as thin. They're just nice and easy to work on your plant with because they'll get into tight spaces, right? Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of pull it tight like that. I want to kind of get it tight enough where it's like kind of leaning my way, because I'm going to now apply another one on top of this plant right here, on top of the plant, and I'm gonna bend it my way. So right now I have it kind of leaning towards me a little bit. That's good right there. So if we turn this over, you'll see that it has a little bit of a lean this way. Okay, so now we're gonna be using the green tie, which is a lot longer than the red ties, which is meant for the top of the plant. I'm gonna spin my plant all the way around so that I'm working on the direct opposite side of the lower tie that we just applied. I don't wanna be off to the side, I wanna be right directly across from it. Okay, so now I'm gonna hook up right below these two top fan leaves right here. Right at those two top fan leaves, I'm gonna clip on with the clip. Now, I'm going to gently pull down, but at the same time, I'm gonna work the stem of this plant. So what that means is, I'm actually going to massage this stem and slowly bend it to where I kind of want it to go. I'm not gonna use this string to make my bend. I'm using my fingers. I'm kind of rolling the main stem in my thumb, just rolling it. I'm not crushing anything. I'm just applying a little bit of pressure and I'm just rolling it with my thumb, just ever so slightly. Because if I did one big pull, that could snap the branch. So I'm just gonna keep on going, just nice and gently. And you can already tell that that lower tie is really holding that middle straight, or else this thing would be leaning right to the side of the pot right now. Okay, so I'm happy with at least where I am. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna tighten the rope up just to where this point is right now. Then I might even work it a little bit more. Because the lower I can get this right now, the more that all of this stuff is all gonna start coming up. And then I'm gonna create a whole bunch of branches that I can use on my scrog screen. That's what I'm doing right now, is creating branches for the scrog screen. So I can keep on sending different branches all over my screen. That's probably good right there for now. Look at that. Beautiful. We expose all these lower nodes that were once hidden underneath these leaves. They're all gonna fold back up and it's gonna straighten up, but eventually we're gonna remove it from here and we're just gonna keep on choking up on it. As this plant keeps on growing taller, we're gonna move this tie or this hook and we're gonna bring it to the next one and just keep on slowly moving the hook up until we put our screen on, and then we use the screen as our training method. So for this plant right here, this girl, she's done for now. So we're gonna set her aside and we're gonna go grab a different one. I'll show you guys a couple of examples of it. Okay, so let's grab this one right here. Beautiful plant. This one could probably use a good feeding actually tonight. This is the lung buster, one of the lung busters right here. Actually, I only have one lung buster and this is it. So hopefully we can keep good care of this plant right here and keep it around because we only got one of them. All right, so same thing. Right now, I'm going to hook on to the bottom of the plant just so I can keep the stem straight coming out of the soil. Right now I'm gonna pull it towards me a little bit. Now I'm coming back, gotta spin it right to the opposite side of me. Grab one of these green ones. Man, I've had these for a while. I'm glad I'm using them. That's a shorter green one. Yeah, I'm glad I'm using these because these things are, you'll see during this scrog school, they're pretty nice. And definitely I'm not sponsored by the guy. He's just a grower just like us. Just a dude that created these clips. I think it's a great idea. But okay, so now we're coming up. I'll get enough of a bend where I don't feel comfortable with just bending it with the actual hook. So now I'm going to work it with my actual fingers once I can find a comfortable position on it. Like right there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna start slowly tweaking it, moving it. If this plant was full of water right now, I would definitely probably snap this main stem right here by doing this. So if you're growing in, say, organic growing, you just want to be a little bit careful, or living soil, because your soil is always damp, it's always wet. So the plants will always have a little bit of water in them. So when you're doing your initial training on, like, say, a living soil bed, you just want to be really extra careful because you can't just dry out your soil. My soil is not dry by any means, but in a living soil, it's always full of moisture, always. Okay, so look at this. This is gonna be a great example, okay? This is the lung buster, and by next episode, we'll come back and look at these little tiny branches that are coming up here, these little nodes, right? They're all exposed. They're all thinking that they're the same height. They're all thinking the same height as the top of the plant. You know what I mean? Because they are the top of the plant right now. These are higher than the actual top of the plant, these two. We're gonna leave it just like that, and we're just gonna keep on training them. Opening up all the lowers. All right, let's do another one. This one here, black sugar. This is the black sugar from Seedsman Genetics. This is a nice plant too. So they're all actually doing pretty damn good, but that's why I started 3 of each one, right? And I picked out like the best ones of the 3. So my chances of getting a decent plant are pretty high when I pick the best one out of the 3. Okay, so we're just gonna clip off. Just once again, hold the bottom straight. I don't know if like it really is like super important or if you can like make it lean. Like I don't know. I just know that I like seeing a straight stem coming out of the soil. I just feel like it's not disturbing, it's like less disturbing the roots, right? But I've seen plants have a tilt right to the edge of the pot, and it's fine. This is just the way that I do it, and I've always done it, so I don't really want to change anything because it's just the way that I've kind of always done it. I haven't always used like little clips like this to tie them down with. I've used like green garden ties, I've used the bud huggers, I've used like everything. I've used probably everything now to train plants. To be honest, like I kind of like this because, or these trainers things right here, and that's only because like they kind of remind me of like just using the normal ties, like the green ties that you would use. It reminds me of that, but it's super reusable. You can always use it, so I'm kind of digging them, to be honest with you guys. So now I'm just gonna, this plant's not as strong as a main stem as the others. So it's gonna be easier for me just to kind of get it right bent over nice here. Just like so. Now I'm going to tighten this thing up a little bit, just like that. Done. In a few days, when you see this, when you see these plants, they're gonna be a lot more bushier now. And I'm gonna have a whole bunch of top branches forming all over it. There'll be top branches coming up everywhere. So that's pretty much all I want to kind of show. I also want to give you guys, I want to do another thing real quick here, which is a perfect time to do this. So I'm gonna grab the same plant. I'm gonna grab the same plant here in this spray bottle right here. This is like one of those nice Vivo Sun pressure. You just like work the top spray. I have IPW. In the States, this is called IPM. This is Athena plant wash. It works amazing. I've used it for a few years now. This stuff will kill any kind of insect, pest that you have. I don't have any pests in the room, but this is a preventative maintenance. There is applications that calls for if you have infestations of any sort, this, like it will wipe shit out, man. Like fungus gnats, thrips, all that kind of stuff. Powdery mildew. This is a killer and a cure for powdery mildew. It will kill it and it'll cure your plant. I'm just gonna give it a nice little wash right now on a few of my plants, just to give you guys a little bit of example on how to do it. If your plants aren't trained like mine, I'm just saying mine's a good time to do this because I just trained my plants. Whenever I spray my plants with anything, I'll try to spray the bottom of the leaves first, because if you spray the top of the leaves, the plants tend to like kind of curl over because they act like they're drinking. You know, when you feed your plant, the leaves kind of droop down a bit and they perk back up once it like starts feeding and it's happy again. Well, same as if you foliar feed or spray on top, they're gonna droop a little bit. And then it's hard to get underneath when they're droopy. So it's easier to get underneath when they're nice and big like this and exposed. So I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna make sure my setting's not crazy. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna soak this plant right here. And like I said, I'm gonna start from the top. So I'm gonna spin my plant around like this, and I'm gonna lift up that one fan leaf right there. Spray all in here a little bit. Spray this leaf. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna wash all of the bottom of these leaves. Okay, so I have 20 milliliters per liter in this jug. That's a Canadian thing, milliliters. I don't know if you guys use that. Don't make fun of me. But yeah, that's what I have. 20 milliliters per 1 liter. Now I'll go around and I'll just do the top of the plant. It's okay to get them soaked. They love this shit, man. I'm telling you, this stuff is amazing. Obviously you want to use it like mostly when your plants just go out or when your lights just come on. My lights did just come on. I also have them right dim, so I'm not worried about anything being burnt right now or anything like that. You can actually use this stuff. I'm gonna be using this stuff at least once a week. Once a week I'll wash my plants. I'll wash my plants just like what I'm doing right now. Even into like say week 2, week 3 of flower, I'll still apply this stuff because honestly it works, man. It works really well. And so is this nice little sprayer bottle right here. It has a whole bunch of different settings on it. I could like make it just like nice thick stream come out, but I don't want to like do that. I just want to have it nice, a nice little mist just like this. Like I said, if you have any kind of bug problems whatsoever, man, this stuff is killer. I've had bugs and had to use this. Thrips I had, and it just wiped them right out. It's a few years ago. Honestly, the next day I couldn't even find any. I was so shocked. They hate it. They're gone. That was when I first started growing organic. All right, that's probably good for now. I'm happy with that. So yeah, once again, guys, in the States, this stuff is called IPM. In Canada, it's IPW. Just a different name, same product. Excellent stuff. Here's a nice Vivo Sun sprayer. This is great for like just even foliar feeding or your living soil gardens, or even your plants they have right now that aren't living soil. You can still foliar feed plants even if they're not living soil, right? So great little little sprayer right here, easy to use from VivoSun. You can use that code SCROG to save yourself 15%, and it also helps the channel here, so thank you so much. All right, that's it guys, we're done training some plants. We just gave them some nice foliar feeding here. I wouldn't even say a foliar feeding, that's a plant wash. It's a preventive maintenance step, just to keep away any kind of pests, wash your plants, better photosynthesis. A good product, and I've tested it, like I said, for a few years, and I love it. Okay guys, so continuing on with early training. This is something that I try to keep up on every couple of days. So now it's been, I'd say, at least 2 days since I did my initial tie down on the branches. So now I'm gonna come back and take a look at my plants, and I'm gonna show you guys a few steps that will help you expose those inner nodes, which will turn into branches that you'll be scrogging on your screen later on. So let's just go in here to the VivoSun tent first, and we'll grab ourselves the plant that's in there. Pot's nice and heavy. I just gave him a nice feeding yesterday. This is one of my sugar canes in his genetics right here. So with this plant, what I want to do is just kind of take a look at it really. I can see my tie is right here, and it doesn't really need to be choked up at all. So, but what I do see is that I need to expose some of the inner nodes down here. If I just slide this fan leaf right here, and I somehow sit over here, all of this stuff is exposed now to the light. As before, this leaf was just blocking all of it. So what I'm gonna do is I don't really wanna remove this fan leaf. I'm just gonna tuck it. I'm gonna tuck it underneath this fan leaf right here. Just give it a little tuck, just like that. It'll probably work its way out there, but as it's working its way out, these two nodes right here, actually there's 3 of them right here. There's this one, which is perfect, and then these two. These 3 nodes, even these guys down here, they're all exposed now, so they're gonna start coming up to the light. This plant here, in a few days, is just gonna be completely top nodes. Okay, like top branches, basically. I'm gonna spin the plant over, because I do see another fan leaf that I wanna work on, which is right here. This fan leaf, I actually might even remove it. I might remove this one leaf right here. So sometimes I do defoliate during my grow, but it's just a little defoliation. It's just one fan leaf. So I'm just gonna come in and just pinch it under, gone. It's gonna allow everything down here to start coming up more. This whole plant's gonna thrive off this. So this fan leaf was the one that we tucked under, so let's just push it under there a bit better. What I'm basically doing right now is I'm just gonna try to grab all my fan leaves, this one, which is leaning on this branch right here, and I'm just gonna try to keep pushing things underneath the big fan leaves. Because pretty soon I'm gonna come in here and I'll be taking away a lot of these fan leaves, because I'm gonna do my defoliation, right? But right now we're just working on exposing all of these lower nodes to the light, so they grow up, so they become, like right now, this is the highest branch on the plant, and it is the 1, 2, it's like the 3rd node, and it's like the tallest branch on the plant. So that's what we want though. We want to keep on exposing these lower nodes just like that, and just keep on building the branch. So I'm gonna put this one back, it's good to go, and we grab another plant. Okay, let's go over here, and I want to find one that needs to be choked up on, which is right here. Perfect plant. So as you can see from this plant, it's almost like it's like bending, and then it's going straight up again real quick. So I need to choke up on the tie that we put on here a couple days ago. So as I'm going to do that, so the way I'm going to do that is be very careful, because like I just said, I just watered these plants yesterday, so they're extremely full of water. So I need to be really careful. Plus I might want to remove a few fan leaves on here. Right now I want to get down to where that tie is, which is way down there. Holy, this plant grew a lot. Okay, so I'm going to loosen up some tension on it. I'm going to take away, you guys can all see this, probably not, but I'm going to take away this little hook that I put. Here's the hook right here in my hand now. Now I'm going to come in here with 2 hands. I'm going to work on this branch as gently as I can, because it's like I don't want to snap it. It's a beautiful plant. I just want to keep it happy. If I snapped it, it wouldn't be a loss, because all that is, if I snap this top branch on this plant right now, like the main stem, it's just considered in my mind, oh, I just topped it, which I kind of don't want to top. So I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing. That's probably good right there. Okay, so now I'm going to grab our little hook, and we're going to hook it right inside this time, trying to keep on the inside of these 2 little nodes that are right in there, because I want them to not get interfered by the hook, just like this. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to give it a little bit of pull down so I can hold it there, just like that. That's perfect right there. These 2 branches are going to hold my hook right here. Eventually the plant's going to start trying to turn its way up like this. So those 2 branches are going to hold the hook. These 2 little nodes right here are going to stand up, just like these ones are now standing up, just like this one's standing up. But now what I'm going to do is clean up a few fan leaves. So this fan leaf, I'm going to tuck it underneath this lower fan leaf for now. This fan leaf, I'm going to try to tuck it underneath this fan leaf for now. And I'm just going to leave it just like that. Look how beautiful that is. Everything is just exposed on this plant. A few days from now, all of this stuff, even the first nodes, I even work on my first nodes in my plants. Like I use them. I use the first nodes on my scrog screens. I'll show you later on in the series. I don't remove much. I'll remove like growth that's on the lower node underneath my screen, but I'll keep the lower node for the most part. Okay, so this plant's beautiful. It's done. Everything's exposed. So let's just put that back into its happy place and let it drink up all the water that's in there. So we'll grab this plant next. This plant doesn't really need to be choked up that much. I could potentially maybe do like a little one, so I'll bring up this hook right here. Take the hook right off the plant actually. And then I'm gonna sneak in, I don't know if you can see this, if we zoom in a little bit, but I'm gonna sneak in and reposition the hook right here. So now what I need to do is work on some fan leaves right here. Can you spot the main fan leaf that's the most in bad positioning? Is this one right here. It's over top of everything that I want to grow up, right? It's just sitting here covering it all. So just by me just sliding this fan leaf under here and making that fan leaf have to work to get out of there, by that time, a lot of this stuff is gonna start growing up, creating branches for me to scrog. Even this fan leaf, I'm gonna tuck it underneath this one here. Just open it right up. Fix my little hook here. Okay, there we go, that plant's done. Let it drink some of the water that's in here, and that's it. Okay guys, so that's just what you wanna do when you come back to your plants after you train them for the first time. You wanna come back like 2 days later, they're gonna grow fast, so you gotta keep on repositioning your hooks, and just like tuck a few fan leaves to expose those lowers to keep it going to the light. You want everything to see the light, basically. Just think of that. You want everything to see the light, as in branches. The fan leaves, yeah, they want to see the light too, but you can tuck them and just expose those lower branches.